My name is Daphne Watkins, and I am an assistant professor in the School of Social Work and a research faculty member in the Program for Research on Black Americans at the Institute for Social Research. So there are a couple of projects that I'm working on right now. One of them is a national qualitative study where we're going around to 4 different cities and we're talking with African American men about depression. And so we're asking them about what depression means to them, what comes to mind when we say the word depression, and we're really talking to them about what it means to be an African American man and potentially have depression or know someone who does have depression. And so the purpose for this study is we're really trying to get an understanding, an in-depth understanding, which is what you would get from focus groups, qualitative data. We really wanted to get that in-depth understanding about really what is depression and what does the face of depression look like for Black men. So a really important piece of that study is, for the last few minutes of the focus group, what we do is we ask the men, if you were to develop a national depression campaign for African American men, what types of things would you include? And we literally take from them their exact words, what they want, what they think would drive men to this sort of understanding about depression, any sort of incentives. We even talk to them about what they don't want and what they don't think we should include in this campaign. And so what we're doing with that data is we're taking that data and we are going to develop a campaign for African American men and depression. The work that we're doing, we really hope that it has an impact on the African American community, but not just the African American community itself, but also other communities that include racial and ethnic minorities. And one of the major problems with these types of communities is that we tend to experience a lot of stigma with regard to depression and just other mental disorders. And so we feel like if we could we can create this depression awareness campaign to let African American men and their families know more about depression, then we can begin to reduce that stigma and hopefully do a better job of understanding depression and getting treatment for depression for African American men, and then really understanding sort of how that can play out over their life course. What excites me most? I think to know that there's some untapped territory out there, because there's still so much work that needs to be done with regard to gender disparities and depression. And so for me, I still feel like there's one rock that we haven't turned over yet. There's still a program we haven't discovered, an idea we haven't come up with. And so for me, there's still so many possibilities with regard to the things that we can do to really help out people who are underserved and, to help them out with their depressive disorders.